Skinny Hardaway Southern T back with another EP. And we here for a good time, not a long time. Greatly appreciate you sliding through. What's good, Picasso? I'm gonna get right into it. You know what I mean? This coming straight from the horse's mouth himself. You know what I mean? This is pertaining to the 135-pound division, right? We're in the wakes of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko, right? We're about to get uh Javante Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, right? We just had Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera, right? So we got a lot of shaking and moving going on at the 135-pound division. Speaking of Devin Haney and Lomachenko, right? You got some people, who are all for Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. You got other people, right, who really not necessarily feeling the Devin Haney, versus Lomachenko, right? You got some people who feel like, you know what I mean, and I chose this that banner for a reason, right? Bob Arum has said, a few years back, about 2 or 3 years back, right, that Lomachenko and Shakur was a bigger fight than Devin and Shakur, right? You got some people now at this point, right? You fast forward, what's good, MP? Appreciate you sliding through. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy, whether you just passing through. You know what I mean? Great appreciate you sliding through this thing, MP. Right? You got some people, right now, you fast forward right now, who feel like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is a better fight than Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. And I do agree with that, right? I understand, where Devin Haney and the Haneys are coming from about them wanting to fight Lomachenko. Was good, Edgar Chavez. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Edgar. Glad you can make it. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time. You know what I mean? I understand, the Haney's wanting that Lomachenko fight. The history behind that fight. That's a fight that they want, and I get it. But I do think that the Shakur Stevenson versus David Haney fight is a better fight, right? But this EP is about, we got Bob Arum, right? Now I don't know how true it is, right? Bob Arum says a lot, right? But we got this coming straight from the horse's mouth, right? We got Bob Arum saying that the plan for the 135-pound division, right? He said his plan is to have the winner of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko face off against Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? And when I saw that, I thought that was highly interesting because I think that that's a much better fight. I think that's the fight that more of the people, what I mean, want. Now we want both fights, right? Devin and Lomachenko, but Shakur and Devin Haney is something that you know that's been going on, for quite some years now. The whole Shakur, Devin Haney, Javante Tank Davis, thing was good, Skywalker. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Skywalker. Glad you can make it, King. TWT is in the building. I see y'all down there. You know what I mean? But that's something that that we've been talking about for years. It kind of seemed like a fantasy fight. Well, we know Devin Haney is going into his last fight with a top ranking ESPN, right? But as Devin Haney stated, they will be open to going back if everything, made sense. You got Bob Arum, who's openly expressed interest in bringing Devin Haney back to top rank, as well. Now you got Bob Arum saying that he's playing, right? He's at the plan, for Shakur Stevenson is for him to fight the winner of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Now, whether Devin Haney signs back or not, I'm not. I'm one to believe that Devin Haney wouldn't be against. You know what I mean? Even negotiating with Bob to make that fight happen. You know what I mean? So I do think that this is good news that we got Bob Arum saying that that's the plan. I like to see you know exactly how it go. Does this mean that Devin Haney going back to ESPN top rank, or is Bob Arum just saying, you know, he's going to go all out to do what he got to do to get those, to get those, belts back, or to get the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight made. Maybe Bob Arum is feeling like if Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, then I want to get, my cachet back, for ESPN if Devin Haney is to leave. So I'm gonna throw him in there with Shakur. Either way, I feel like this is exactly what the people, wanted to hear right now, Zay. But Bob Arum ain't gonna put him in there with Devin Haney next. He got to give Lomachenko his shot first, because if Lomachenko, some kind of way beat Devin, he not gonna put Lomachenko on there with Shakur Stevenson. He not. This Shakur Stevenson is basically just his insurance plan, right? And I think it's a smarter plan, because I think Shakur Stevenson actually has a chance to beat Devin Haney, unlike Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Type there. What's good, Shower Allah? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Queen. What's good, Tim? Appreciate you sliding through, Skywalker. My girl, Shower Allah. What's good? Glad you can make it. But Bob Arum, he's talking that talk, that I want to hear, or I like this talk. I do think it's funny. I ain't gonna say I think it's funny, right? I ain't even gonna do him like that. You know what? I like the talk that he talking, right? It's a way to be seen, right? But I'm gonna read straight from the article, so you can take his words from it or for it, not mine. If y'all could do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up for your boy, whether you just passing through. Greatly appreciate you sliding through this thing. We're in this thing having a boxing conversation. But let me get to the article, right? Shakur Stevenson's attempt at winning the lightweight title will look differently depending on the outcome of the up and coming undisputed championship in that division. The two division titles from Newark, New Jersey is set to make his lightweight debut in front of his hometown crowd April 8th against 6-year-old Yoshini at the Prudential Center. After that, Stevenson likely won't have to wait too long for a chance to earn a title shot in his third division. Top ring head Bob Arum, who promotes the 25-year-old Stevenson, says his company's aim is to match the ace southpaw with the winner of the 135-pound undisputed fight between Devin Haney and the former three-division titleist Vasily Lomachenko. Although the fight is not official, Arum said it most likely would take place May 20th. Arum, however, quickly noted that a Haney-Stevenson matchup is not a likely permutation in the event that Haney defeats Lomachenko, because Haney will likely vacate his belts and move up to 140. In that case, Stevenson, Arum said, will fight for one of Haney's vacant titles. On the other hand, if Haney were to defeat, if Lomachenko were to defeat Haney, Arum said a Lomachenko-Stevenson fight will be in the realm of possibility. Top Rank promotes all three fighters. The plan is for Stevenson to fight the Haney-Lomachenko winner, Arum told ID Boxing. If Haney wins, he's talking about going to 140, so that makes it a vacant title for Shakur. But if Loma wins, then the Loma and Shakur is the fight that I will pay all kinds of money to watch. That's really an unbelievable fight. The two real great students and artists in the game of boxing. Haney, 24, became the undisputed lightweight champion last June when he defeated Australian's George Kambosos by unanimous decision. Haney repeated the result in a contractually mandated rematch 4 months later. Lomachenko, 35, last fought in October, scoring a points win over Jermaine Ortiz. It was the Ukrainian's return to the ring after serving his country war against the Russian invasion. So what Bob Arum is saying, his goal is to have Shakur fight the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko winner. He said Devin Haney is talking about going up to 140, right? So in that case, it'll be Shakur versus a vacant title. But if Lomachenko is to win, then it'll be Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson. I really think he really going the opposite way with that. I think if Devin Haney win that fight, he gonna find a way to keep Devin down there, at 135. You know what I mean? Or entice him, right? Make it worth his while. Like he said, his aim is to get Shakur Stevenson one of them belts. But then again, maybe if he keeps Devin Haney, if he finds a way, to keep Devin Haney, Teddy said, I believe this was when I see it. Teddy, he basically said in the same, he basically lied and told the truth in the same breath, Teddy, right? He said, my plan is to make Shakur Stevenson versus the winner. But he thinking if Devin Haney win, then, it won't be Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? He said he thinking if Devin Haney win, then it won't be Shakur Stevenson that he fighting, because he feel like Devin Haney going up. He said more than likely he feel like the fight gonna happen if Lomachenko win it. We all know Lomachenko ain't about to be no dang Devin Haney. You know what I mean? So he kind of lied and he told the truth all at the same time. But I tell you this, man. I tell you this. Bob Arum is a slick MF, right? So I think he'll find a way to work that out. We may not get Shakur and Devin Haney at 135, right, for undisputed. But if I really feel like I kind of, and I said this before, right? I kind of want Devin Haney to stay over there at top rank. You know what I mean? I want him to stay over there, right? Because I feel like that gives us the best chance to make Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. You know what I mean? I think Bob Arum might be blowing smoke. You know what I mean? With the fight being for undisputed, I do think he told the truth when he said that he go get you know what I mean, Shakur Stevenson a title fight next. I don't know if it's gonna be against Devin Haney, right? But I do like Devin Haney over there at 140. I think it's opportunity over there at 140 for Devin Haney. You know what I mean? I think it's opportunity over there for Devin Haney. You know what I mean? In the top rank. So I know some people don't want him to stay, and I get it. Bob Arum ain't shit, right? But you know, I do think there is a opportunity for him to get some you know, big fights made over there at you know what I mean, top rank if the deal is right, right? If the deal is right, if the bread is right, uh type B, if it makes sense for him, right? So I'm not necessarily against that move. I think that gives us the best chance to get, you know what I mean, the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight. So I really think if we think, you know what I mean, some of these situations out, it may behoove us, you know what I mean, to, you know, to actually like, you know, think broader for a second, right? If we want Devin and Shakur, the best way to make that fight happen might be over there at top rank, right? Right. If we chasing Devin and Javante Tank Davis, then now we really don't want them to sign over the back at top rank, right? But we have seen, you know, Bob Arum, you know, work with the PBC for, you know, fights before if they make sense, right? And I think that fight makes a little sense. Right. But I digress. I digress. So it's basically sounding like she said this is the last fight for Dev on this top rank contract. Yes, correct. It is boxing MMA. This is Dev's last fight, but Dev already said, you know, that he's not necessarily against, you know what I mean, signing back over there with top rank if it makes sense for him. Bill Haney said that. Bill Haney said that, right? He told me that a few times, you know what I mean? But he also stated that this probably gonna be Dev's last fight at 35. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be Dev's last fight, you know, at 135. But look, y'all, maybe not next though, right? But hear me out what I'm saying, right? Maybe not next, but I think it gives us the best chance. I think it gives us the best chance for David and Shakur, you know, if he stay. I'm not saying that he's going to stay, right? But you know, I think if that's the fight that we want, right? That's the fight that we pushing for. Dale staying over at top rank, I think gives us the best shot at that. Fizzle, what's good, Fizzle? Appreciate you sliding through. Where you been, Brody? Been ready, batch. I ain't seen you. What's good, Fizzle? Appreciate you sliding through. I was gonna come out here and talk about Neary. You know what I mean? What Neary said. Have a Neary conversation. I'm gonna eventually have that jump today. You know, at some point, I know my brothers gonna hop in and do their thing. We go eventually have that Neary conversation, but I had to come on here. You know what I mean? And let y'all know what Bob Arum was talking about. Y'all know I like to keep the articles fresh. You know, to read them. So once I read the article, it kind of just sounded like Bob basically said, I mean, he necessarily didn't lie. He lied and told the truth at the same time, right? He said, my plan is to make Shakur fight the winner Lomachenko and Devin, right? But then he went on to say, well, you know, Devin already said he moving up to 140. So if Lomachenko win, then it'll be for undisputed. But if not, it'll be for a vacant belt, right? My thing is, if it's for a vacant belt, right, we still may get Lomachenko, you know, versus Shakur Stevenson. Because I also vividly remember Shakur Stevenson, right? Because I be listening to these boxes. I vividly remember Shakur Stevenson saying, you know, I fight Lomachenko no matter how many losses he got. Said names like that, guys like that, you know, you fight them for your legacy. You know what I mean? And if Lomachenko got a belt, right? Let's say Devin Haney beat Lomachenko, he move up, he vacate. Shakur get the WBO, and then Lomachenko get the WBC or something. Why the fuck wouldn't Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson fight? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't they fight? You get what I'm saying? So Devin fight Lomachenko, he move up. Lomachenko beat up somebody for a strap. Shakur beat up somebody for a strap. You know what I mean? And boom, they ended up, coming for a full circle. We never know who gonna get the other straps. Maybe Frank Martin, you know what I mean, get the WBA strap. Maybe Frank Martin, get the WBA strap. You know what I mean? Then we get a Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin. Lomachenko. Who would be the other guy at 135? Recently, who down there? Maybe Gary Russell. Junior come up there. You know what I mean? Maybe Tank Davis snatched one of those belts. He said he don't care about the belts, but once everybody starts shaking and moving, he ain't gonna want to get left behind. You know what I mean? You got Tank down there at 135. Type deal. Maybe we get it shaking and going that way. But it's a lot. It's a lot to be done. You know what I mean? Down there still. But Bob Arum, he's saying that stuff that we want to hear, right? But with Bob Arum, man, he's way to be seen. Type deal. He kind of lied and told the truth at the same time. But I like the fact that he said, yeah, Frank. I like the fact that Bob Arum, he laid the plans out there, right? And I do think, right, if Bob Arum really want to get Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney at 135, I really do think he could do it, right? Because it ain't just easy for Shakur to make that weight either, right? He coming up to 135, right? I think for the right price, maybe if it makes sense, why not? Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney at 135. But again, I kind of think that's just I think Bob, just he kind of just he playing in the win a little bit with that, right? He playing with our minds because he said, yeah, I want Shakur Stevenson to fight the winner of Shakur and Loma. And then right after he said, but I think Devin Haney moving up, so it'd probably be for a vacant unless Lomachenko win. I think he been funny. He know damn well Lomachenko ain't gonna win that fight. He just giving Lomachenko a shot. But then again, maybe Bob Arum really do feel like, Lomachenko wins that fight. Yep, Jermaine Ortiz down there. You know what I mean? As well, Shaw. So I think so I guess I do think that Shakur and Devin go fight, right? I just don't think it's gonna be at 135, right? I don't think it's gonna be at 135 like people let know. But I think they will eventually fight, especially if Devin Haney stays at top rank and goes to 140. Devin Haney expressed that he wanted that Teofimo Lopez fight. Teofimo Lopez is about to fight Josh Taylor. If I'm Devin Haney, you know what I mean? Or I know Josh Taylor fight over there on top rank, like his network is top rank, right? Man, I see if I'm at 140, right? I see all the reason to stay over there at top rank and get that 140 smoke. You know what I mean? You got Josh Taylor over there. He about to fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, you know what I mean? Over there, Regis Prograis just fought Jose Zepeda. You know what I mean? Fight over there. You know what I mean? So as far as a ranking system, a positional, you know what I mean? Aspect, it make a little sense. Now I don't like the fact that David Hayden working with Bob Arum, but right, you want to get undisputed at 140, and you may have to, do business with the devil, right? You may have to stay over there in bed with them, good folks, right? But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. Just wanted to come in here, have that conversation with y'all real quick. We go see what Bob Arum on. You know what I mean? I do think Shakur and Devin go fight maybe at 140. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll have to wait to 147, right? Maybe at 140, not at 135. But greatly appreciate everybody sliding through this thing. Skin the Hardaway 7T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But just the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out.